Rabotai, good morning. With the permission of my father, today in the Sefer Yalkud Lekach in Parshat V'zot HaBeracha, in Perek Lamed Gimel Pasuk Chavter, he brings down over here, where is our true pleasure, Rabotai? What do we find pleasure in these days? Is it the materialistic world or is it in Hashem? He says, "Ha'hitanugud al Hashem hi hatanug amiti." Taking pleasure in Hashem, delighting in the Kadosh Baruch Hu. This is the real pleasure. Anything other than that, Rabotai, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your life, and you're wasting your money. He says, the pasuk says, "Asherecha Israel," praiseworthy the Jewish people. Mi kamocha, who's like you? Am nosheh b'Hashem, Rabotai, a nation which is delivered by Hashem. Rashi says, what does it mean, Asherecha Israel? After Hashem already detailed all the berachot that the Jewish people are going to get, he said to them, why should I detail each bracha to you? Hashem tells you everything is yours. Comes over here, he says over here, we want to see over here how people make a great mistake in going after the materialistic world. Now, Joey, I'm not saying not to live. You're looking at me like I'm saying something. I'm not saying not to live. People gotta eat. People gotta drive. People gotta sleep. People gotta get dressed, correct? Where people gotta, of course, sometimes you need my machronim. You have to take your wife and your children out. 100%. But Joey, we have to know how it's supposed to be done. There's a person could be wearing a nice suit, $200, $300 versus he could be wearing a $10,000 suit. Where do you put your whole focus? A person could be wearing a t-shirt with all the names to them, Machalei Bala, this Malach HaMavet, the angel of death. You have all these names that people today are wearing. What are we showing our kids? What are we showing the world? Are we happy to be Jews or we want to be like them? Every day, every morning, what do you say? Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech HaOlam. That's how you say it. That's how you say it. Yeah, sure. No, all jokes aside, Shelo Sadi Goy. You didn't make. You have to think about which goy? Not the goy that sits on the street. Not that goy. Give me the biggest goy in the world, the biggest billionaire in the world that has everything in the world. Still, I don't want to be like him. But what, Joey, on the other end, we dress like them. We want to look like them. We want to be low like them. Rabotai, yeah, that's it. That's good like this. Yeah. It's unfortunate. We do not know the inheritance, Rabotai, that we have. That's what Rabotai says where people make a great mistake. Right? That's what we say in the daven every single day. Baruch Eloheinu shebaran l'chvodo v'yivdilan min hato'im. Right? We bless Hashem that we're here for His honor and He separated us from people that make mistakes. What kind of mistakes? What are the people that make averes? Listen to this. Ro'im anu ba'alil ad kama shogim b'nei adam כאשר הם אוהבים דבר מקנני העולם הזה. Rabotai, we see how many times people are mistaking this world when they start loving things from this world ומשתעשעים ומתענגים בו עד שמטרדים את כל ליבם רק בעונג ההוא, רבותיי, until they start taking pleasure and they start delighting and they trouble their whole heart in only that. What do I mean, Rabotai? You see a guy, he builds a house for 2 million, the next door neighbor built it for 3 million. That's it, Artur. This house that he built, he has to rebuild it again. He can't take it. How can he take it? He buys a nice expensive car, one little coffee stain and one little thing that his wife walked in and by accident scratched the car. Automatically his whole year is no good. Why you scratched my car? We put all our focus into things that don't matter, into things that are going to stay behind, and so one day you're even going to sell it. If it's not going to chasron and be taken away. That's why he said we're so, Rabotai, I don't know what he's going to say over here, we're so foolish. We make this mistake by occupying our whole body. We trouble ourselves with everything in this world, but not HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Achrei shenemar ashrech Yisrael, Rabotai, once the pasuk says, praiseworthy the Jewish people, Hakol shalachem, everything is yours. En lahavil kalal ketzer, Rabotai, it's not at all understandable. Mi shekol haolam kulo shulo choter pirurei osher midumeh umit'aneg v'samech behem, Rabotai. How could it be, Rabotai, that the whole world belongs to us, Rabotai? Hashem gave us the whole world. He says, enjoy, Rabotai. From this world, you're able to accomplish, you're able to accumulate the next world, But what do we do, Rabotai? We grab over here. He says we grab every crumbs of fake happiness and fake pleasure, things that are not going to make us happy. It's going to make us happy for the 2 minutes, for the 1 hour, for the 1 month that you have the car. But after that, everything goes away. So how could it be that Hashem gave this whole world? Joe, He gave you this world for one reason, to utilize this world in order to be able to get the next world. But what do? In this world, we run after the small things. And that's what He brings down over here. That's what He brings down over here. He says like this, Be'emet, כל תחושות העונג הגשמי לא ניתנו לאדם אלא רק לדוגמה. Rabotai, every feeling of happiness, every feel of physical pleasure that a person has in this world, it was only given to him כדי שיכיר בחושיו מהותו של עונג, ובכך לאפשר לו לצייר לעצמו את דומתו ואופייה של ההנאה האמיתית. Rabotai, when you take the pleasure of this world, it was given to you as an example in order for your senses, Rabotai, to try to take the pleasure of this world and try to imagine in your heart and try to envision, Rabotai, what's going to be the real pleasure, Artur John, in the next world. Can you imagine if this enjoyment you get over here from your wife, from your children, from driving a nice car, etc., what's going to be ready in the next world? How much more great you're going to have in the next world? That's why these pleasures, that's why people have these feelings. Why do you have to feel good when you eat? Rabotai, because if this is over here, how much more so it's going to be over there. But Rabotai continues and he says over here, Umahi hana'ah ha'imitzit, Rabotai, what's the true pleasure in this world? As Zod lamadu b'perek harishon shel Mesilat Yesharim, we learned this in the first chapter of the Path of the Just. Lit'aneg al Hashem v'lehenot miziv shechinato, Rabotai, the whole purpose why we came to this world is to take pleasure in Hashem, Rabotai, and enjoy in the splendor of the Shekhinah. Can you imagine, Rabotai, this the whole world we came down to this world is for only that one purpose, is in order to be able to take pleasure in Hashem, enjoying the splendor, meaning after, by doing mitzvot, learning Torah, all these things, then when you go up there, Rabotai, you're going to be with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Can you imagine what does it mean to be with Hashem? Rabotai, say people want to be with big people, right? Presidents, famous stars, I don't know, football stars. Give me signatures, give me... Rabotai, can you imagine Hashem, Rabotai, the person that gave you everything, to be with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Rabotai, with this, Rabotai, we're given this. The Mesilat Yesharim says, the whole purpose, Joey, why we came down to this world is only for one reason. To delight in Hashem after in the next world. You get this. You could also have this in this world. You could have it. It's only a matter how much do you want it. But we unfortunately, I'm telling you right now, I'm not speaking about nobody, I'm not judging nobody, Rabotai. I was at this point at one time before I became Baal Teshuva. Rabotai, but we unfortunately, we show that we don't want it. We come to shul in sports jackets, in t-shirts, with all these names. We come in shorts, in Crocs. Tell me, you're happy to come down to Hashem? When I see people going to weddings, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, even old lady parties where they're not supposed to be, they get dressed better than they come to shul. So what are you showing your child? When you go to the wedding, you're 3 hours getting ready, you get every single suit. But when you come to shul, you put on any t-shirt, you come with jeans, and you come to Hashem. That's how you show Hashem mitzvot. When we do tefillin, we put on tefillin, we put on Baruch Hashem, and we run away. Where is our importance in mitzvot? When we learn Torah, we can't wait until Rav Chaim ben Akasha comes. Where is our importance in learning Torah and showing the importance of how much we love it? Kids need to see that, Rabotai. When you say Birkat Hamazon, you say with kavanah. When you watch this, do you do the kavanah? Don't forget, not only your kids, people around you are watching you. We're not showing Rabotai importance, we're showing everything else. I have a nice Bentley, I have a nice BMW, I have a nice Lexus. Look at my car is bigger. What is all this going to do? I'm telling you, what is all this going to do? You know what one rabbi said? It's very sad. I don't know if it's true or not. It's very sad. He said they made in Hidabarut, whatever, there's a, I don't know, he told me there's a website, which is very sad. In Israel, he said there's 500 Jews that are getting assimilated every single hour. Outside of Eretz Yisrael. Where'd you get the number 500? They made the stats. I don't know if this is true or not. 500 Jews are getting assimilated every single day. So every hour. Every single hour of Botai to Goyim. So I said, why? Eretz Yisrael is better? I wasn't in Israel. I was not. You had people like this. You had people Chilonim. You had people religious. He said, you know what he said? In America, you can have 10 children. 9 of them go in the way of Torah. 1 of them gets married to a Goya. All right? So we say, Baruch Hashem, 9 children went to the derech of Torah. But that's our problem, Rabotai. This rabbi said, I forgot his name, Rabotai. He'd rather have 10 children living in Israel, being Chilonim, marrying Chilonim, eventually they're going to come back. But not marrying into Goya. Because once you marry a Goya, your children are not Jews. How you want to fix all this? You want to convert? Okay, fine, whatever it is, Rabotai. But how are you going to fix all this? You're already destroyed. That's why he said, I prefer living in Israel. It's better to get shot in Israel dead than to come to America and live with Goyim Chas V'Shalom. Rabotai, but why is all this happening? You guys over here, you guys are in the circle in Jamaica States, or some people in Kew Garden Hills, or Kew Gardens, or in 108 Street. You guys are in that bubble. You guys are good. But what about all the other Jews? Where everybody else, Rabotai? 500, Rabotai, do you guys think? And do you know why it is? It's because of us, Rabotai. What we show importance to. What we show, that's why he says over here, we don't show importance, Rabotai. We don't show that we have pleasure when it comes to Torah. We don't have it. I'm telling you, unfortunately, Rabotai. Look, right before Yom Kippur, we want life, right? If you guys saw, there's a Siddur Avodat Tefillah. It says when you say Leman Chai Elohim Chayim, give us life for yours. So when you say life, what kind of life I want? I want a life that I'm going to be able to only serve you. If it's not that life, it's not life. It's dead. You're dead man walking. That's what a Rabotai person has to know. He has to know, especially in front of his wife, his children, his friends. You want to show importance, Rabotai, Torah, mitzvot, avodat Hashem. Not, Rabotai, in the middle, Chas V'Shalom of the week, making parties, making barbecues, everything that's going to, no, Rabotai, you show your kids learning Torah, synagogue, because, Rabotai, tomorrow once they grow up, if all the children give you a problem, I don't care how much money you have no life, Rabotai, we see it today. He concludes over here, Rabotai, just really quick, he concludes over here with a small parable. He says, can you imagine a person comes to the 47th Street, and there's a guy that he shows him a regular rock. He says, this is how you cut the rock, this is how you look at this is the, I don't know, the size, the clear, the cut, whatever it is. C, B, whatever it is. So the guy looks at it. This guy is giving him an example of how to look at every rock, how to distinguish what's good, what's not. So what does this guy do? He grabs a rock and he runs away. He thinks he's a rich man now. But the guys, I was going to bring you into the showroom where all the real diamonds are, where all the real pearls are, where I was going to give it to you so you can open up your business and become big. So what did this guy do? He grabbed a rock, a real stone, which is not even a diamond, which I was trying to show him how do you distinguish from fake and real. So he thinks he's a rich man. Rabotai, over here brings down the same parable to us. He says these kind of people are mishugaim, they're fools. They're fools for doing this. You know why? This is, Hashem brought us down to this world, Artur. He gave you this world. He says, go. Let me show you these pleasures. Let me show you, look, you have a nice car, you feel good. You have a nice house, you feel good. You have this, you feel good. Take this as examples and start applying them. Multiply them by a million to what could be the eternity by learning Torah and doing mitzvot. But what do? We come to this world. Oh, penny here, $1 here, $2 here, $1,000 here. Or making money, Bitcoin, oh, that good. But where's your Torah? And we think we're amassing rocks. We're not amassing jewels. We're not amassing diamonds. And that's what a person really comes down for this world. It's only for one purpose. How does the Gemara say? What's going to score a person? Not your wife, not your children, not your parent, nobody. Your mitzvot and the kindness and the Torah that you did, Rabotai. That's what a person has to be chacham. He has to be very smart. You come down to this world, pay attention. What I'm about to do right now, is it going to take me away from Avodah Hashem? What am I collecting? Am I amassing rocks, pebbles? Or am I amassing jewels, Rabotai? If you're amassing rocks, pebbles, by building and cars and houses, all the shuyot, Rabotai, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be to your own downfall. Right? How they say, how does it say? The more, a person who has a lot of properties, a lot of assets, he only has a lot of worries. In the conclusion, he brings down, he says, when you see a person amassing wealth, Rabotai, he's a shoteh, he's amassing rocks. When he could have been amassing Torah, Rabotai, he's amassing rocks. That's what, Rabotai, you shouldn't be amazed with these people. A person who's learning Torah, about him, you should be amazed. Oh, look, he learns Torah, look, he comes to the more, look, he goes to the mikvah, look. Speak to your kids about these things, Rabotai. I saw one time they sent A clip of Rabbi Eli Stefansky. Everybody knows Rabbi Eli Stefansky. He does the 8-minute daf. He said that Rabbi Victor Miller was asked a question. If a father has enough money to be able to take care of himself, but now he has 6, 7 children, whatever it is, Joey, should he go out of his way and continue working? He's very successful. Continue working to purchase each child their house, their car, to put each child in their feet. Or should he sit and learn Torah and now start preparing for his Olam Haba? What do you think he answered? He said, Chayecha koydem. Your life comes first, not your wife, not your children. Your life. Because tomorrow they're not going to do it for you, Joey. If you don't do it now, they're not going to do it for you tomorrow. That's what he says. Who's the one who sustained you? Hashem. That same God, Rabotai, is going to sustain your kids, your wife, and everybody else. You don't have to sit there and worry and take away from your Olam Haba just because you want to give your kids Olam Hazeh. Rabotai, the kids have to go, they have to grow, they have to do everything, they have to work. Do not make life easier for them, Rabotai. The easier you make it, the more hard it's going to be for them later on. And this is what it says in Masechah Shabbat. There was a king, I think Melech China, when Shlomo Melech gave him 22 cities as a payment after he gave him scraps of metal. They used to do scraps of metal. 22 cities. You know what 22 cities have to do? If I give you one block, you'll be happy. 22 cities. You know what he said to Shlomo Melech? What? This is what you gave me? These cities you gave me, what I need your cities for? The Gemara says, why are you upset? 22 cities. You know why? Because all those 22 cities were full of jewelry and silver. Gold and silver. Full! Anywhere you touch was gold and silver. You didn't have to do anything. He says, ever since you gave me these cities, all my people in the country stopped working. Everybody's lazy, Rabotai. By giving everything to the children of Rabotai, you don't make them responsible. That's what Rabotai, we have to show them, Rabotai, the true pleasure. The true thing that we come down to this world is Avot Hashem, and we have to make them responsible, Rabotai. Baruch Adonai Olam. Amen. Amen. Rav Chaim Igal Baruch Hu Lezakot Etzel Leficha Hir Balahem Torah Mitzvah Shel Mar Adonai. Chafetz Lamach V'Yagdil Torah V'Yagdil Al Yisrael. Amen.